Welcome to Denim. I previously did a video covering all of the LVC recreated years of the 501 jean, and I missed three pairs, so I'm going to cover them in this episode. The 1960s hadn't come out yet, so I didn't know about those, but I got the 5 rarest LVC recreated years in here, a few you haven't seen, and a couple special mentions. The 1917 501, while being very close to the 1915, it's special because it comes in this nice box. But also, you can find them with Cone Mills denim and Amaskiag denim. And an Amaskiag denim. Amaskiag company went out in 1930, so I don't think they're using 70-year-old dead stock denim to put these jeans together. They must have had Cone Mills replicate an Amaskiag-like material. More to come on that once we find it. Just making an honorable mention for the 1918 Homer Campbell limited edition. I think they've done this twice, in like 2003 and in 2018. They call it the Centennial jean, and they're addressing it as a 1918 pair. Even though Homer probably bought them in 1917, they still made the years ahead of time in the fall, but knowing him being at some general store in the middle of nowhere, it wasn't as likely that they would. There's some of these out there you can find if you're looking for them. They're not as rare as some of these other ones. (1927s). You can tell them apart from the 1922s, as 1927 is the first year to have red line salvaged. Now, they aren't 33s because they lack the NRA tag and have a different kind of cinch. This is the year that starts that two-tone copper and silver cinch. 1927 is also the year that the pocket stitching starts to narrow from the top towards the bottom. It's parallel for all the years before this, and it starts to get more crazy narrowed as time goes on. Another special mention for the 501 XXC, which I think they credit this as being a 1937 year. It is technically, historically, it's 1936 that they did this XXC, calling it for C for covered rivets, before they actually integrated that into all of the 501s the following year. The 1953 501. It's possible that this was made as a prototype to what would eventually become the 55 model, but they wanted to go with the 1953. That's when the movie The Wild Ones came out. Brando probably would have been wearing a pair of 53s more than a pair of 55s, which would be impossible. Otherwise, they've changed their tactic to give him a pair of 47s. But they switch back and forth. The 53s have a fit that's more closely related to the 1954 zipper model, but of course it has button fly. What I think is really special about this is that it has a buckskin patch instead of bovine leather. Now that means that the rear leather patch came from deer skin rather than cow skin. Although this might only be with a specific model within the 1953s and not every one of them. It has the lemon yellow, banana yellow stitching that most 1950s pairs have, and all of the classic features you'll see in a pair of 47s, just with a slightly more tapered fit. In 1967, 501. Yes, not 505, but a 501. This is noticed by its... This is distinguishable by the A above the 501 number, where it usually says lot. All the other details should be pretty close to the 66, but I guess it has a little more narrowing towards the bottom of the leg. Some models might come with a very simple Levi's cloth bag, but an older one compared to the totes they're distributing now. It's probably the absolute rarest jean on this list. Good luck finding them. If you got a pair, wonderful. And in our last one, 1971 501. No, I don't mean the golden tickets. They actually made these a couple other times. And they made them with the big E instead of small e's. 71 was the year that they're switching over. So believe it or not, there's actually more 1971 small big e's than there are small e's. But they didn't seem to make it in a rigid when they made it other times. So I guess that's how you can distinguish the golden tickets from it. So these are some of the most rare years of 501s that the Levi's Vintage Clothing collection has made. If you have any of these, I'd love to hear about them. We'll do independent videos about all of these, either teasers, where I just kind of show you what's available in a more detailed length, similar to what I did with Bunkhouse, and then full videos eventually once I can come across these pairs and we can get them tried on. I'm Den, thanks for watching. Being a subscriber is the best way to help this channel. More videos to come.